Hello there, Biaka Muso desu and welcome to my review of Birth by Sleep. So before starting my review about this game, I want to update my progress on Rechain of Memories, which isn't a lot, but I was able to go past Larxene, which is a big plus for me, and now I'm stuck on Riku, and I don't see getting out of that one for a very long time. But I made some progress. About Birth by Sleep, so I was looking forward for playing this prequel because it's a game focused on Ventus, Aqua and Terra, so the trio before the main trio that we know, that is Sora, Riku and Kairi, although Kairi is not exactly using a Keyblade, although she does at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. But here we have the trio of Keyblades. And I find the story very interesting. I really like the mechanic of being able to play with all three characters because they don't really have different abilities or commands because they more or less share the same set of abilities, but they have different ways to go about them. For example, the dodge, you can really feel like that their style of dodging and of the way they move in battle is very different between them because for me, I feel like Terra is the most heavy to play with. He's really heavy in the way he moves with his Keyblade because he's really focused on strength. Then you have Ventus, which is a little bit more light. He dodges really fast, he's really quick in the way he battles. And then you have Aqua, which I feel like is more balanced in the way she battles, and she is more focused on magic. About the story, Xehanort is once again the villain. He's the villain always, and you have the Mark of Mastery exam, which now that I'm playing Dream Drop Distance is a really big difference between the two Mark of Mastery exams that you see. But choices, I guess. That was the exam that Ericus chose for his students, and then you have the exam that Yansid chose for Sora and Riku. But they had to do a full game about that, so I guess it is what it is. Then you have Ventus, and Ventus is like this side plot where he was originally a student of Xehanort, and he's trying to, well, he's the chosen one to build what Xehanort really likes to call the Keyblade. You feel like the story of this trio is really sad, and it's a tragedy basically, because you have Terra dwelling with darkness, he's trying to fight it but he can't win. You have Ventus with his past connected to Xehanort, and then you have Aqua who is here trying to save both of them and trying to help them, and she ends up falling into the darkness, and then you will have another game for her to get out of there. But they are really a tragedy trio. About the game, I feel like they did a good job at making a Rechain type of playability more easy to enjoy. So you have also the thing about the deck capacity and everything, but you don't have the cards. Your attacks, your basic attacks, are not limited by your deck capacity and none of that. So you can attack with good, very well, and you don't have to charge the deck. So I think it's a really good progress between Rechain and Birth by Sleep, and they will use it in other games because I see they have the same kind of playability in Dream Drop Distance. So it works really well, it's really easy, and Of course, I played in beginner mode. Once again, I'm doing all the Kingdom Hearts in beginner mode, so I don't know how it is in more advanced difficulty. But it's really easy to play and to understand the mechanics. I also didn't have any troubles with the grind or with the bosses. I defeated them all pretty easily. The one thing that I was stuck on was when I was playing with Terra, I was stuck on Ericus. And this is kind of funny because then I didn't have any trouble defeating all the bosses in the Keyblade Graveyard. I defeated them at my first try, but with Ericus I had to do like 3 or 4 times, went to Mirage Arena so I could do some grind for Terra because I felt that some way I was under level to fight Ericus, and then I returned to fight him and defeat him. So I fought Ericus for about 4 or 5 times, and I'm so thankful that I didn't need to fight him with any of the other characters, because that was really difficult. I don't know why, but it was really difficult to me. Also about the Mirage Arena, I feel like I don't understand how the grind works in the Mirage Arena, because I went there to do grind, but I felt like the grind in the Keyblade Graveyard, for example, is much more valuable than the grind you can do at Mirage Arena, because I couldn't really evolve that much the level of the characters by doing those fights. What's funny though, I defeated I think for obtaining the report number 5 of Xehanort, you need to defeat, if I'm not mistaken, the Sinister Sentinel in the Mirage Arena with Terra. What's the funny part is that I defeated that Sentinel at my first try with both Aqua and Ventus, and I couldn't do it with Terra, although I tried, so I had to go back to the save file of Terra and do that again to get the report. And of course, at the end I was also missing, I think it was report number 12, which you find with Ventus in the Keyblade Graveyard. Those were the only reports that I was missing. And I saw that you also have in the Keyblade Graveyard some sort of absent silhouette kind of thing, like in Kingdom Hearts 2, but I didn't try to do that because I just wanted to get the report and do the final episode with Aqua. I didn't have also much difficulty defeating the Terra North with Aqua. It was really a game of patience, but it wasn't that difficult. The other thing that I struggled with was with Ventus defeating Vanitas, because when they fight in their internal battle, Vanitas has, when he's almost dying, you have that mechanic in the space, I don't know what that is, and you have to do these kind of things, just move the analog stick, try to defeat him, and I had to do that 3 or 4 times. I even looked up how to do it, and I just reached the conclusion that it's random, because sometimes it met the condition, sometimes it wouldn't. I didn't understand, so for me it was random. I have no clue how I defeated Vanitas, and the worst part is not you dying during that segment. The worst part is that you have to repeat all the battles, the boss battles in the Keyblade Graveyard with Ventus. You don't skip to the part of their internal fight, no, you have to do all of it, and that was the most frustrating part. About the levels, I finished the game, I think it was Terra at level 29, Ventus at 28 and Aqua at 27, so it's kind of funny because they are gradually missing 1 level. I think it was something like that. In beginner mode it was pretty simple. Yes, the bosses sometimes were a game of patience, but it was doable, so maybe this is the most under level that you can do the bosses without any troubles. The story in itself you have once again the plot of the Princesses of Heart, because Erica says to Terra and to Aqua to see what's happening because they are threatening the Princesses of Light. And I'm like, but that's the plot for Kingdom Hearts 1. Of course that's not the focus of the game, because the focus of the game is all about Terra being led into falling into the darkness so Xehanort can take over his body, and then about Ventus creating the Keyblade that Xehanort wants. So it's really about Xehanort using the trio to achieve the things he wants. But I didn't... that was an excuse for you to visit Disney Worlds, and it was again the plot of Kingdom Hearts 1, so it doesn't... for me it doesn't make much sense. Fortunately, in this game you don't have mechanics like the Gumi ship, so you just go to the worlds that you need to go, and that's it. So that's a really positive thing for me. I also enjoyed the worlds. They are small, fun trips to each Disney World, and some of them are not explored in the main Kingdom Hearts, so it's always fun to visit those worlds. And I really like the characters. Ventus, well, Ventus is basically a Sora, a little different, and you have all that about, in the beginning his heart is shattered because he's missing part of his art, and supposedly Sora that completes his art without even knowing. I don't know how that works. And then in the end he goes to sleep in Sora's heart and things that happen in the future for the other games. Then you have Aqua. Aqua, she's an amazing character, but I really don't like her voice actress because she's just dying most of the time. I mean, Terra isn't better, but basically the most expressive are Xehanort, Ericus, which is done by the amazing Mark Hamill, and Ventus, which is the same voice actor as Roxas. They are the only expressive ones because Terra and Aqua are just dying inside. But I really love Aqua's character. I love her design. She's really interesting. She is always trying to help, trying to be a good friend, trying to protect her friends, and she's a really cool character. And of course Terra. Terra for me is the one that you basically... you feel like he doesn't have anything special. Yes, he has all this plot about him, about fighting the darkness, but for me, he's a little meh. But once again, his design, I really like it, and he looks really cool as Terranort because of the white hair and the yellow eyes, but it's not a very interesting character for me. And Erica, so you finally see someone who is a master, and Erica's, I feel like they hired Mark Hamill to be, once again, if you watch the sequels of Star Wars, a master that fails with his students. So he tries to kill Ventus, which is the same plot as Luke Skywalker trying to kill Ben Solo, and you have him trying to defeat one of his students and ending up being struck down by him, and he has a really sad story. I heard he has some plot in maybe Kingdom Hearts 3 or something like that, and there are other games that try to explore his character, but I liked his appearance in this game, and I would like to know more about his character. So tell me what you think about this game. I'm also playing now Dream Drop Distance, so I also watched Recoded, which I will not make many comments. Perhaps about the game movies I will later on do a video, or maybe about the old franchise, or maybe about just the game movies, to share my thoughts about those kind of games that I couldn't play. And tell me what you think about this game. Tell me which of the main characters is your favorite, and see you next time.